VMAX made an incredibly powerful single motor scooter. This is the VMAX VX2 Hub for $1,200. And I'm gonna show you just how much power this thing has, what this company's doing that no other company is, and why I think that this is a great scooter for the price. Okay, so let's talk about the power. Now, VMAX designs their own motors, and they call this motor the V-Torque R10 Hub. Just sounds powerful. And this thing has just got a ton of power for the size. It's not that big. This motor peaks out at 1900 watts. To put this in perspective, most rideshare scooters are hitting about 800 to 1000. So this thing has 900 watts of more power. That's a powerful statement. All right, so how does that translate to performance? I did a speed test with the first on eco mode. Here we go.
32, 33. All right, 33 miles an hour for eco. Holy shnikes. That's a big bump.
I've never seen a scooter hit 33 miles per hour on eco mode, so let's see what it's gonna do on sport.
Let's see what we got. Topping out at 35 for a split second. Yeah, there's 35 again.
35 miles per hour is stupid fast for a single motor scooter. Tested a lot of scooters in this price range that have just one motor, and I don't think I've ever gotten over to 31. So heck yeah, that's awesome. More speed, the better. Now, when I took out my speed app and compared that to the scooter, the speed app showed 2 miles per hour less. But still, 33 miles per hour is pretty dang fast. And that just so happens to be the speed rating. Now, the road that I went on was slightly downhill. So to give you a more accurate read of how fast this can actually go, I decided to head up it.
Oh yeah, doing pretty good. That's 32. I think it's gonna hold all 33. Nice. About 33.5 is as high as I've seen.
Now, if you take 2 off of that speed, that's still 31.5 miles per hour, which again, is crazy that a single motor scooter going uphill is hitting that fast. Anyways, both of those tests were done when the scooter was set to boost mode.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boost mode is activated.
To turn the boost mode off, just tap the power button 5 times.
Let's see how fast I get on eco on non-boost mode. Speed's topping out at 21.8 miles an hour. Switch that to sport mode, here we go. 21.7.
All right, so boost mode affects the acceleration, the power, and the top speed. And I like the fact that you can put it on boost mode or take it off because this thing is deceivingly powerful. I will remember you. Woo. Okay, it wants to go. VMAX is the only brand I know of where you can wheelie with just one motor.
If you're not leaning forward, you can easily pop the wheel up.
Yeah.
Oh, it throws you back a little bit. 15, 16, 20, 23, 25, and 30.
The last thing to talk about as far as power is hill climbing ability.
These guys talk big game when it comes to how much power these things have for hills.
They say can climb up to a 35% grade. Steepest hill in San Francisco is like 32.5 or something like that. This hill's about 20% at its steepest.
That's the road right there, and this is a short but very steep hill with a lot of gravel and soft dirt. And I'm gonna see if I can make it up. And here we go, we're climbing. Oh, this is gonna make it easy. Easy. Oh, dang. That is pretty dang good. You've got some power for climbing.
All right, so I hope that it's clear that this is a very powerful scooter. And so the next thing I want to talk about is what these guys are doing different that other companies are not. And the first and most important, in my opinion, is they've taken the governor off the motor. I'll be back. It shall not be ruled.
Here we go, here we go. 31, 4, 5, 6, it's still going. Yeah.
So I was going down a hill, hitting 35, 36 miles per hour, full throttle. It felt like there was power coming on. There is zero drag from the motor. The second thing they did is adding a little bit of boost in the throttle when you release it.
Got the throttle down. If I just hit the finger off, yeah, it gives a little boost.
Now, it's not a ton of power. It's just enough to where I noticed it. And it makes that transition from going to stopping just a little smoother. The next thing these guys did was add some internal dampening. And that means that they just tightened the steering wheel a little bit. And the reason why they did that was to add more stability when going fast. Again, when I was coming down the hill at 36 miles per hour, it was smooth as a baby's buttocks. Not really, but it was smooth, and I didn't have any stem wobble, which is pretty awesome when you consider how big this scooter is, or I guess how small it is. In my experience, the bigger scooters tend to have the best balance. It's got the balance of a heavier scooter. The last thing that these guys did that other companies don't, at least most companies don't, I've seen it on a couple other brands, and that's automatic headlights. As the sun goes down, headlights come on. They also put turn signals on the handlebars and then in the rear of the scooter. This is the turn signal switch, and it is a little bit hard to push. And it does show up on the screen. Okay, so it's time to talk about why I think this is a good scooter for the price. besides the very powerful motor and all the bells and whistles that you get with this that you don't get with other companies. And the first one is how far you can go while going fast at the same time. This scooter has 2 range ratings, which depends on the battery size. With the smaller one, you can go 44 miles and it costs $1,200. And then for the larger one, you can go 56 miles, which costs $1,400. The one I have is with the bigger battery, 18.2 amp hour. After a quick 3-hour charge, I took it out, I went full throttle, I got over 1,000 feet of elevation gain with over 15 miles. When I got back to the house, my battery life showed 32%. That's 15 miles with an average speed of 30 miles per hour. That is very good for a scooter in this price range. There's a bunch of other scooter companies that are gonna charge you around $1,400–1,500 for a scooter, but most of those are gonna have 2 motors. And so part of that money is gonna go into paying for that second motor, which is gonna take away from the important thing when it comes to range, and that's the battery. With VMAX, you have 1 motor, which is almost as powerful as 2 motors, but what matters is that frees up money to put into the battery size. And that's why you have such a huge battery in this little scooter frame.
Do you want an extra motor? It'll only cost you thousands of dollars.
VMAX also designs their controller to make the battery and motor relationship as efficient as possible.
Feels good to share a charge, huh?
You're the best.
Which is why you can go fast and go long. Talladega Nights 2, go fast, go long. The next reason why I think this is a good scooter for the price is because of the suspension.
The trail ends, we got a dirt road, so let's test out the suspension.
You got a front hydraulic fork with rear elastomer.
We're going 16 miles an hour, and so far so good. Well, that's getting kind of soft there. Wow, serious. This is awesome. And these rocky sections like this, it gets a little bit bumpy, but dang, for what you're paying for, that suspension is pretty awesome.
Now the suspension does have its limits. When I was coming off a curb slow, I bottomed out. When I was coming off fast, I still bottomed out, but not as bad. And then when I popped off the curb, I bottomed out bad again. Now, as far as when I was going off-road, I never bottomed out. And again, it was much more comfortable than what I was expecting. Now, the tires are higher quality than what you'd expect.
All right, going slow on sidewalk lines, about 10 miles an hour. I can hear them and feel them a little bit, but pretty dang good. If I step that up to 15, yeah, it's about the same.
The biggest thing I look for when going on the sidewalk is making sure my eyes don't rattle. One of the worst things out there is going for a ride and having your eyeballs just vibrate. It's no good. And with this scooter, you don't have any of that. Another reason why I think that this scooter is a good value is because of the power to weight ratio. There's a ton of power, but then a very light frame.
Weighs 55 pounds.
And that means you can easily pop it up on a curb and then just rally it around a little bit. It just makes for a fun ride. If you never tried a lightweight and powerful scooter, you need to. All right, so it's time to talk about some things that I didn't like. And the first one is with the brakes. You got a drum brake in the front and a disc in the rear. And I like both of those brakes. A lot of scooters have them. But when you combine how fast this thing goes with some pretty smooth tires and a new trail.
Oh crap, there's my turn.
Whoa. It does take a while to stop. The next thing I didn't like is the folding piece.
What the heck? Oh, there we go. It was stuck. Ha, there we go.
There's a piece that pops out when you pull this little lever, and for me it was stuck. But I have reviewed a lot of VMAX scooters and I've never had an issue with any folding part of their scooter. So I think this was just a fluke. The last thing I didn't like was the app. Well, the navigation feature inside the app. When it works properly, they say that it will give you turn-by-turn directions to wherever you're going. But I tried that twice, and each time I did, it kicked me out of the app. And the app is pretty basic. It's just not as cool as it should be for how cool the scooter is. And there's not a ton of stuff that you can do in it. You can turn on the headlights, switch between a 0 to a non-zero start, change the speed modes, and that's it. All right, so to wrap up the review, there's just a few more things I gotta tell you. And the first thing is that this does have cruise control.
There's no noise that comes on when the cruise engages, but there is a cruise light indicator on the screen.
Now this can hold 287 pounds. It's got an IPX6 rating, a 2-year warranty, and the customer service is based here in the US with a ton of spare parts. So if you have any issues, you should be up and running pretty quick. All right guys, so in recap, this scooter has got a ton of power. I just can't get over the fact that this is a single motor scooter for 1,200 bucks that goes 34, 35 miles per hour. I also love what these guys are doing differently than other companies. You got auto headlights, no governor, and you got that boost in power when you let go of the throttle. With so many scooters out there, it's the little things that just make a company stand out, and I think VMAX has done that. So if you guys are looking for a lightweight, a powerful, a long range, a fast scooter that can climb some serious hills and has a lot of bells and whistles that you want on a scooter, whew, that's a lot. I've got the link below. Before you go, if you want to check out more reviews that I've done from VMAX, I got them right up there.